The truth is, most men don't lose women because they're not attractive enough. They lose them because of small, invisible behaviors that quietly scream weakness. You don't notice it at first. Neither does she. It's subtle, almost harmless, but over time it erodes attraction like rust on steel. And by the time you feel her pulling away, the damage is already done. It starts with over-explaining yourself. You think clarity builds connection. You think if she just understands you better, she'll appreciate you more. So you justify your actions, your decisions, your delays. You add context nobody asked for. But here's what she actually sees. A man seeking approval. A man who doesn't trust his own choices. And nothing kills attraction faster than a man who needs validation for simply existing. Then there's the habit of reacting too quickly. She texts, you reply instantly. She pulls back, you chase harder. She goes quiet, you fill the silence with nervous energy. You believe responsiveness shows interest, but in her mind it signals something else entirely. That your emotional state depends on her behavior. That you are available at all times. Predictable, easy to read, easy to control. Mystery fades. And with it, so does desire. Another one hides behind being nice. You agree too much. You avoid conflict. You suppress your real opinions just to keep things smooth. You think you're being mature, but what you're really doing is abandoning yourself. And women don't feel safe around men who abandon themselves. Because if you won't stand your ground, how will you stand for anything at all? Watch closely how you handle rejection or resistance. When she says no, do you respect it calmly? Or do you try to negotiate your way back in? Subtle persuasion, extra effort, trying to prove your worth. It feels logical, but it reveals something deeper. That you don't believe you're enough without convincing. Strong men don't negotiate attraction. They observe it. They either receive it or they walk away. And then there's emotional leakage. The quiet kind. The kind you think you've hidden well, but it shows up in your tone, your body language, the way you ask questions that sound like tests. Do you still like me? Why didn't you reply? You think you're just communicating, but underneath it carries neediness. And neediness isn't about wanting someone. It's about needing them to feel okay. That's pressure, and pressure suffocates attraction. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. Many men perform confidence instead of becoming it. They memorize lines. They mimic behaviors. They try to act alpha, but the cracks always show. Because real confidence isn't in what you say. It's in what you don't need to say. It's in your silence, your patience, your ability to sit back and observe without chasing outcomes. You might think effort is the solution. More texting, more planning, more proving. But attraction doesn't grow from effort alone. It grows from tension, space, uncertainty. When you overgive, you remove the very conditions that allow attraction to breathe. Consider this. When you constantly try to impress her, you position her above you. You turn her into the judge. And once that dynamic is set, everything you do becomes a performance. You're no longer connecting, you're auditioning. And auditions are exhausting. For both of you. Another silent mistake. You reveal everything too soon. Your plans, your feelings, your intentions. Total transparency feels honest, but it kills intrigue. People are drawn to what they slowly discover, not what's handed to them all at once. When there's nothing left to uncover, curiosity dies. And curiosity is the engine of attraction. You also weaken your presence when you tolerate disrespect disguised as just how she is. Late replies, flaky behavior, mixed signals. You brush it off to seem unbothered. But deep down it bothers you, and she knows. Because boundaries aren't what you say. They're what you enforce. When you accept less than you deserve, you teach her how to treat you. And maybe the most dangerous one, you make her the center of your world too quickly. Your schedule shifts around her. Your priorities blur. Your focus narrows. You think devotion creates connection, but it actually creates imbalance. Because when she becomes your only source of excitement, you lose the very thing that made you attractive in the first place. Your independence. Here's the harsh reality. Attraction isn't built on comfort alone. It's built on polarity, on contrast, on a man who is grounded in himself, not orbiting someone else. When your identity becomes tied to her reactions, you lose control. And once you lose control of yourself, you lose control of the dynamic. Strong presence is quiet. It doesn't rush. It doesn't explain unnecessarily. It doesn't chase what isn't freely given. It observes. It decides. It moves with intention. This doesn't mean you become cold or distant. It means you become centered. You stop outsourcing your value to someone else's attention. You stop trying to win people over. Instead, you watch who naturally aligns with you. Because the moment you stop trying to prove your worth is the moment people start questioning it. And that's where the shift happens. So the next time you feel the urge to over-explain, to chase, to seek reassurance, pause, not to play games, but to regain control over yourself. Because in dating, the smallest behaviors reveal the deepest truths. And the man who masters those subtleties never has to ask for attention again.